Heyo, and welcome to my channel. I am criscrosaplesos, and today I'm going to be going over the most fun I've been having in Path of Exile 2, which is a build I've kind of evolved into a monk that uses a bow and a crossbow. We're mostly focusing on lightning damage, and I'm going to make this video short and sweet. I'll leave a build guide for your level 70 goal in the video description, so you're welcome for that ahead of time. Basically, there's a couple of things you need to hard focus on, and that is, one, we're going to be shocking, and our biggest damage output is going to be from our shocks from Stormcaller Arrow mixed with Herald of Thunder, but our single target damage is going to come from shock burst rounds. We're going to be weapon swapping back and forth between a bow and a crossbow. Your crossbow, you're going to want as much physical damage and added lightning damage as you can get. This bow was only like maybe 10 exalts, so pretty cheap, but you're going to want to look for accuracy, dexterity, level of projectiles, added physical damage, and percent increased physical damage. And the added lightning damage is just icing on the cake. The more physical damage you have, the more we are converting into lightning damage, and that lightning damage will be further increased by our lightning damage increase percentages. All of the lightning bolts from Stormcaller Arrow are 100% of our physical damage converted to lightning. So that is a big chance for us to do as much damage as possible, and it has 800% more chance to shock. For our bow, again, the same thing. You're going to want, plus to your projectile skill gems. I haven't gotten it on this, but this is a significant amount of physical damage and accuracy, so I went ahead and grabbed it. I did manage to corrupt this and accidentally get +2 to all projectile skills, which I'm okay with, because the Stormcaller isn't something that we're going to be using 100% of the time. Most of the time you just hit it once or twice, and then I don't know why you can't do it in your hideout. And then you're gonna, pot shot everything with your crossbow, and it's just going to chain shock everything to oblivion. One thing you can do, which will make your playthrough super easy, is grab some Wake of Destructions. These boots drop shock ground when you're moving. That lasts 8 whole seconds, and anything that's standing on shock ground is shocked. There is no chance to not be shocked while you're standing on shock ground, so you can basically just wear these, and if you're in any sort of situation, all you have to do is run backwards and shoot your shock burst rounds, and everything just gets obliterated. But once you get into maps, you want to be pretty good at just pegging the enemies that you want to get rid of first with the shock, and then those shocks, because of the coursing current support gem we have in our Herald of Thunder, you really only need to shock one person. That's why I didn't have the scatter shot in my Stormcaller Arrow before, but it does help to spread all that really quickly if you do use the spread shot, or even a bow that has the extra projectile shot. Wake of Destructions aren't 100% necessary. Like I said, it just makes your running through Acts 1 through 3 and Cruel Acts a lot easier. For mapping, you're going to want a pair of boots with life and movement damage, high evasion rating as possible, and some resistances to cover. As you can see, my resistances are not great. They could all be better, but I don't have any on my chest piece, which on your chest piece, you're definitely going to want to get some, along with maximum life and intel and strength, any stats that you need to be able to use the skill gems that are in the build tree. Helmet, you want as much evasion as possible, maybe some evasion and energy shield, and then again, maximum life, intel, dex, resistances to fill the gaps, so on and so forth. Gloves, you really want to try and get a pair of gloves that have added physical damage to attacks and added lightning damage to attacks, maximum life, critical damage chance, critical damage bonus, stuff like that. You want to try and keep these offensive, and then just use a socket to put in either an iron rune or a body rune to get you some more survivability from that. On your belt, don't get armor, unnecessary, but you do want to get life and as many resistances as possible. This is where a large chunk of our survivability comes from. This belt I'm wearing right now is hot garbage, but the life is very nice to have. Amulets, you're going to want obviously the max roll of +3 to all projectile skills. And then this is where you can get a huge chunk of both resistances and the attributes that you need. If you can get a nice high roll on plus to all attributes, you can go up to 30 plus with all of your attributes, which is going to make your life a hell of a lot easier in the passive tree. On your rings, you're going to want, again, added physical damage to attacks and added lightning damage to attacks, life, intel attributes like intel and dex, and resistances to fill the gaps where you don't have it elsewhere. And that's about it. When all is said and done, you should be looking pretty good. Now I'm going to show you exactly what this looks like in practice. Do I have a map on me? I do. Map in progress. I just did that one. Shut up, liar. Lying liarson. If you really need an enemy killed quickly, just walk up to them while you're wearing these boots and they'll get shocked immediately. You don't have to worry about it. See? Easy peasy, nothing to it. And everything dies. Let me clear these folks out here, and then I will show you what it's like to do stuff without the boots on. You're going to be shooting your Stormcaller arrows, and whatever doesn't die, usually everything dies just from this pretty easily. But whatever doesn't die, you are going to... Oh yeah, rolling around is very important because you get another 30% evasion rating for 4 seconds after you roll. So try and keep in mind that rolling is something you want to do. Boy, I just wasted this mirror, didn't I? Yeah. Rolling is something you're going to want to try and do as much as possible. Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. Hope you guys like the build. Please, I'm not a professional at this. If there's ways we can improve this build, please let me know. Me choosing Invoker and on the monk is not something I really went out of my way to design. I kind of was doing everything that everybody else is doing with the monk, with the cold lightning bell builds, and I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. I wanted to try something different, so I have a Deadeye that I was doing lightning rod and lightning and ball lightning with. So I just basically took her gear and gave it to this guy and redid his skill tree and redid his ascendancy node, and it ended up just working really, really well. So I evolved it and trial and errored a bunch of different stuff and got it to where it is now. So it is far from perfect and far from meta, and we can certainly try and make it better, especially if we put our brains together. Alright, I will just see you guys in the next video, maybe, if you're lucky. Please like and sub.